Beyond extending the statutory authority of the Maternal Mortality Task Force an additional 5 years, the Texas Moms Matter Act takes a pragmatic but comprehensive approach to the maternal mortality endemic that is plaguing our state. And members, I wanted to share with you something that I had not discussed with all of you before. One of the reasons that this became my passion and my priority piece of legislation, even during the regular session when my bill didn't quite make it across the finish line, is because I too almost lost my life when giving birth to my daughter. I went into labor a month early. I was healthy, I did everything right. I don't have a history of heart disease in my family, I'm not diabetic. I ate well, I exercised, but nevertheless, it happened. While I was in the labor delivery room, I felt something was terribly wrong. Quickly, things took a turn and my heart started to race. It was beating so fast, I was like, what is going on? Then I felt like I was in excruciating pain from my head to my toes. So I started squeezing the nurse's hand and telling them, I need help, something's not right. And they were saying, what is it? And I said, my chest, my heart feels like it's about to beat right out of me. And they didn't know what to do. They kept saying, well they were trying to check my blood pressure. And then, I don't know if it's just the lawyer in me or what, I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but I just tried to save myself, and I said, put me under, because I felt if I stayed awake another moment, that there was no way I would survive. I was in too much pain. And so they started saying, well, we have to call a doctor. We can't just do that. And I was like, help me, please, just put me under. I can't take this any longer. And apparently they did. So I had no recollection of giving birth, but when I awoke, they did an emergency cesarean section. And I was terrified when I woke up because I thought I had lost my child. Fortunately, I survived, but I knew that I was slipping away. I look back now, and when I read the 2016 biennial report that came from the Maternal Mortality Task Force, it really hit home to me. And I said to myself, was I lucky? Was it because I had private health care? But I also know that there are thousands of other mothers out there that did not have what I had in that room. They could not fight for themselves. They could not advocate. And the doctors made sure, I made sure, my family made sure that they did not release me a moment too soon. And it's no secret, I'm an African-American woman, I'm healthy, but I didn't know when I went into childbirth that I was 3 times more likely to die than anybody else just by virtue of being African-American. You know, my grandmother was born in 1920, and she used to tell me that when a woman gives birth, it's the closest she'll ever get to death. It was like an old wives' tale. But here we are a century later in Texas, and her prophecy is almost true. So I know that now is the time in this special session for us to change that statistic.